Okay, let's start Unit 8. This is our second to last unit of the year. We're winding it down. So we're almost there. We have 2 more units and then we are home free for geometry. So this unit's going to kind of use all of the last chapter. We're going to be finding all kinds of areas, and we're going to do that with composite figures. So what's a composite figure? Well, a composite figure is made up of simple shapes such as triangles, rectangles, trapezoids, and circles. So the simple shapes we learned in the last unit. And to find the area of the composite figure, we find the areas of the simple shapes and then use the area addition postulate. So let's look at this first example. What we have to do is we have to divide our shape into a simpler shape. This can be done different ways. However complex you want to make it, you can do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this shape right here. So now what I have is 2 smaller rectangles. I have the rectangle on top and I have the rectangle on bottom. So this is our top rectangle. This is the bottom rectangle. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to find the area of both of these and then add them together to get my total area. So let's see, area for the top. Well, of course, the top is just a rectangle, so we just need to do base times height, which would be 15 times 12. Here's our base for the top. Here's the height for the top. So that's how I got those numbers. 15 times 12 is 180 centimeters squared. Now I've got to get the area for the bottom shape. The bottom shape's another rectangle, so I have to do base times height again. Well, let's see about that one. This one is 27, but I don't know the height over here. And don't you dare say 21. 21's the whole thing. So I know I'm going to have a 27 here. But what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to use this 21 and subtract 12 from it to get what's left for the bottom piece. So 21 minus 12 gives me 9. So this bottom piece is 9 centimeters. So now that tells me I need to do 27 times 9, which is 423 centimeters squared. Now that just gives me top and bottom. It says to find the shaded area. The shaded area is the whole thing, so I have to add them up. Oh, I messed up here. Sorry. That's not 423, that's 243. Got my 4 and my 2 switched. So now to get the total area, I just add these. 180 plus 243, that's 423 centimeters squared. Okay, next one. Looks like we have 3 different shapes here. Yikes. We have a triangle up here in green, and I'm going to color in green. So let's just start there. Let's find the area of that triangle. So I'm going to say down here, area of the triangle. Well, what do we need for a triangle? We need 1/2 base times height. Okay. Well, 1/2. Stop. We don't know the base. And we need to get the height first. So we're just all kind of messed up on this. Well, let's see. I know this is 3 down here. So what would this top be? 7.8 minus 3 is 4.8. So this is going to be 4.8. What I'm going to have to do here is use the Pythagorean Theorem to get my base down here. I'm going to have to say that x squared plus 4.8 squared equals 10.2 squared. Of course, x squared is just x squared. 4.8 squared is 23.04. And 10.2 squared is 104.04. Move the 23.04 over. And we'll get that x squared equals 81. Square root it to get rid of the square, and we get x equals 9. Hey, it played nice. So this is going to be a 9 right here. Now we know the base. So 9, the height of the triangle is 4.8. So then I need to do 1/2 of 9 times 4.8. It's going to get me 21.6 feet squared. So again, that's the area. I'm going to try to color code these to keep things straight. That's that area. Now we have to deal with the rectangle. So we got to deal with this one here. So area of a rectangle. That's just base times height. The base is 9. The height is 3. 9 times 3 is 27 feet squared. And then last but not least, for this one, we need this semicircle. So area of the semicircle. Well, a semicircle is 1/2 of a circle. So we're going to need half of pi r squared. That's going to be 1/2 pi. Now our radius. I know the whole side here is 9. How do I get radius? Radius is equal to 9 divided by 2, which is 4.5. So this is going to be 4.5 squared. Now, for the first time, we're going to get to use the pi button because we want to find the area to the nearest tenth. So we'll actually get to touch pi this time. About time. So we'll put all of this in the calculator, including the pi. And we'll get 31.8 feet squared. So now we found all 3 pieces. So to get the total, you just add them up. We add all of these up. Let's see, that's going to be a 14. Carry your 1. 10, carry your 1. 80.4 feet squared. There's our area. That's our total area. We just added them all up. Okay, so those are ones where we add. Now let's look at some where it would be easier, and by easier, I mean a lot easier, to subtract and be done with it. Okay, so on this next example, what we want to do is we want to find the area of the rectangle and then subtract out that portion, the triangle, because I only want the shaded area. So I'm going to find the whole rectangle and then cut out the triangle. So let's do that first. Let's find the area of the rectangle. Of course, that's going to be base times height. That's going to be 36 times 18, which gives us 648 meters squared. Now, I'm going to do the triangle in red just to emphasize the fact that I want to cut it out. So the area of the triangle. Well, a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So my base of my triangle would be 36 up here. And the height it tells me of the triangle is 9. So this would be 162 meters squared. Now I subtract these. 648 minus 162, because remember, I'm deleting the triangle. That would be 486 meters squared. That's my total area. Okay, next one. Looks like we have another rectangle, but this time they take out a half circle, one half circle, and another half circle, which together equals a whole circle. So notice though, if I were to shade all this in, it would just be a rectangle. So let's first find the area of the rectangle. Now in the middle here, it tells me across is 16. So that's going to be 16. That's going to be 16. So if we do base times height, that's going to be 33 times 16, which is 528 feet squared. But now I need to take away a whole circle. So area of a circle, of course, is pi r squared. Pi times, what's our radius? Radius is going to be 16 divided by 2, which is 8. Now, like I said, this time we get to actually use pi. So type pi times 8 squared in your calculator. If you do that, you'll get 201.1 feet squared. And to get the total area, we have to subtract these. 528 minus 201.1. I think that's 326.9 feet squared. There's our answer for that one. So the first ones, we added them all together. These, we said it'd be easier to subtract things out instead of trying to add. Okay, last example for the notes. It says Katie is using the given plan to convert part of her lawn into a xeriscape garden. A newly planted xeriscape uses 17 gallons of water per square foot per year. How much water will the garden require in 1 year? Well, per square foot. So that's telling me I have to first get area. So I need to find the area of each of these pieces here. So we're going to have this top piece is what shape? It's a rectangle. So I'm going to say area of top. That's just a rectangle. So it's base times height. Base is 28.5. Height is 7.5. Multiply those together and you get 213.75 feet squared. Now we need the trapezoid here. So let's just call this the middle. So area of the middle, it's a trap. So our formula, if you remember, for the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height. So let's see. I'm going to have 1/2. Base 1 is 18. Base 2 is 12. Oof, I don't have my height. Let's see. What can I gather though? I know that this piece is 7.5. This piece is 6. What does that piece have to be then? Well, you can do 7.5 plus 6. That gets you 13.5. And then subtract that from 19.5. It's going to get you 6. So this is 6 as well. Our height here is 6. Multiply all this together and you'll get 90 feet squared. I'm actually going to take this and write it further out. Okay, now we need the area of the bottom piece. So area of the bottom. That's again just base times height because we're back to a rectangle. So 6 times 12, that's going to give us 72 feet squared. So to get the area of the total garden, we just add all of these up. If you add them all up, you get 375.75 feet squared. But does it ask us for area? No. It tells us that the garden uses 17 gallons per square foot. How much water does it use? We found how many square feet. So now we're going to multiply by 17 gallons per foot squared. The foot squares cancel out. So 375.75 times 17 gets you 6,387.75 gallons. That's our final answer. It asks us for how many gallons, not just the area. We had to find the area to get the number of gallons, but the area wasn't our final answer. So yeah, this one was tricky. This assignment's kind of tricky, but at least we made it through the lesson. So stay tuned for the guided practice.